Welcome to Unit 2. We're now in Period 2, from 1607 to 1754, the Colonial era. In Unit 1, three worlds collided and Spain built an empire. Now the story shifts. Many European powers race to plant permanent colonies in North America, and England's 13 colonies take centre stage. This first chapter sets the scene. Where we are, who's competing, and the big themes ahead. Let's get started on Unit 2. Here's the big idea of Unit 2. If Period 1 was about contact, exploration, the Columbian Exchange, and Spanish conquest, Period 2 is about colonization, building permanent settlements that last. Now many European powers get into the game, and England's 13 colonies become the main story of the course. The key thing to watch is that different colonizers had different goals, and those goals produced wildly different colonies. That's the core of Key Concept 2.1, a variety of colonization and migration patterns. Let's place ourselves in the course. AP U.S. history is divided into 9 periods, and we're now in Period 2, from 1607 to 1754. You are here. Period 1 ended with the Atlantic world newly connected. Period 2 covers the rise of permanent European colonies in North America, especially the English, and runs right up to the eve of the French and Indian War. Everything we do this unit lives in this window. Quick bridge from Unit 1, because Period 2 builds directly on it. After 1492, 3 worlds were linked across the Atlantic. Spain had built a vast American empire on conquest, coerced labor, and silver. The Columbian Exchange had remade both hemispheres, and race-based African slavery had already taken root in the Spanish and Portuguese colonies. Now, in Period 2, other European powers, France, the Dutch, and especially England, decide they want permanent colonies of their own. The race for North America is on. So who's competing? Picture 4 flags over North America. Spain holding Florida and pushing into the southwest, focused on missions and forts. France claimed Canada and the Mississippi Valley, built around the fur trade and close alliances with native peoples. Few French settlers, lots of trade. The Dutch established New Netherland, centred on commerce and the fur trade. And England settled the Atlantic coast, focused on permanent settlement and farming, bringing whole families. Each empire colonized for different reasons, and that's why their colonies looked so different. That comparison is Topic 2.2. England came late to colonization, decades behind Spain and Portugal, after an earlier failed attempt at Roanoke. But in 1607, English settlers founded Jamestown in Virginia, the first permanent English colony in North America, and that date marks the start of Period 2. Notice how it was funded. By a joint stock company, the Virginia Company, pooling investors' money. Exactly the kind of business tool we met in Unit 1. From this foothold, England's 13 colonies would grow along the Atlantic coast over the next century and a half. England's colonies weren't one thing. They formed 3 distinct regions, and you'll compare them all unit long. New England, settled largely by Puritans, had small farms, tight-knit towns, and economies built on shipping, fishing, and timber. The middle colonies were the diverse breadbasket, growing grain, trading actively, and tolerating many religions and ethnic groups. And the Chesapeake and southern colonies were plantation societies, growing tobacco and rice with enslaved labor. 3 regions, 3 very different societies. That's Topic 2.3. What made these colonies so different from one another? 5 forces, and they're your analytical toolkit for the unit. Geography and climate shaped what could be grown and how economies developed. Imperial goals, whether trade, religious conversion, or settlement, set each colony's purpose. Labour systems differed enormously, from indentured servants to enslaved Africans to family farms. Religion ranged from strict Puritan New England to tolerant Pennsylvania. And demographics, who migrated and in what numbers, shaped everything from family life to politics. Geography, goals, and labour. Keep those three in mind, and you can explain almost any regional difference. Zoom out, and 5 big themes run through all of Period 2. Imperial competition, European powers and native nations contesting land, trade, and power. Regional differences, the contrast among New England, the Middle Colonies, and the South. Labour and slavery, the systems powering colonial economies. Transatlantic trade, the Atlantic economy binding the colonies to Britain. And self-government, colonial assemblies and habits of self-rule slowly taking root. Watch these 5 threads. They'll show up in every chapter of the unit. Here's the road ahead. Topics 2.2 and 2.3 compare how Europeans colonised and break down the British colonial regions. 2.4 covers transatlantic trade and the policy of mercantilism. 2.5 examines interactions between American Indians and Europeans, trade, alliances, and war. 2.6 tackles the development of slavery in the British colonies. And 2.7 and 2.8 cover colonial society and culture. Then sharpen the comparison skill. 8 topics, 1 story. How scattered settlements became a distinct colonial society. Let's anchor the unit to the College Board's 2 key concepts for Period 2. Key Concept 2.1. Europeans developed a variety of colonization and migration patterns, shaped by different imperial goals, cultures, and environments. And they competed with one another and with American Indians for resources. Key Concept 2.2. The British colonies exchanged goods, people, and ideas with Britain in ways that built both stronger bonds with Britain and eventually, the seeds of resistance. Those 2 ideas frame everything in this unit. In theme terms, Period 2 is led by migration and settlement, waves of Europeans and Africans moving to and within North America. America in the world is huge here too, as empires compete for the continent. You'll also see work, exchange, and technology in the colonial economies and trade, social structures in the very different colonial societies, and politics and power as self-government begins to grow. Lead with migration, with America in the world. And with social structures. 2 skills to prioritize. First, comparison. It's the signature skill of this entire unit, and the final topic, 2.8, is devoted to it. Get comfortable comparing the colonial regions and the European empires side by side, point by point. Second, contextualization, the skill of this very chapter. Be able to set the scene in a sentence or 2. A contested continent with many colonizers pursuing many different goals. Comparison and contextualization will carry you through Unit 2. Lock it in. Screenshot this slide. 1. 1607 equals Jamestown, the first lasting English colony and the start of Period 2. 2. 4 flags. Spain, France, the Dutch, and England, the European powers colonizing North America. 3. 3 regions, New England, the Middle Colonies, and the South. The British colonies you'll compare all unit. And 4. Different goals equal different colonies, the reason they turned out so unlike one another. 4 hooks to open the unit. 60-second recap. 1. Period 2. From 1607 to 1754 is when permanent European colonies rise in North America. 2. 4 powers competed: Spain, France, the Dutch, and England, each with different goals. 3. In 1607, Jamestown, the first lasting English colony, opens the period. 4. England's colonies formed 3 regions: New England, the Middle Colonies, and the South. And 5. Geography, imperial goals, and labour explain most of the differences between them. Lock it in. That kicks off Unit 2. Next up, Chapter 2.2, European Colonization. A closer look at how Spain, France, the Dutch, and England each colonized North America, and why their goals led to such different colonies. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you in the next one on your way to a 5.